The extent of genetically modified foods can be as simple as the aesthetics of fruits and vegetables to the environmental risks that make it nearly impossible to stop the crossbreeding of plants and animals that have been genetically modified with organic organisms. These genetically modified foods pose health, safety, and ethical complications. So why were genetically modified organisms introduced if organic farming was so efficient? The answer is simply economic. We are always looking for a way to produce more product and optimize profits. The goal is to make these plants and animals grow faster. Scientists have been experimenting with the growth of salmon. So far, they have gotten the salmon to become full grown in half the time of their natural growing rate. Also, by utilizing these chemicals, we have made plants and animals more resistant to disease usually spread during the production process when you have such a large amount of product in one area that one simple bacteria could contaminate the whole lot. This made the constant need for spraying pesticides nearly non-existent, which not only cut cost of production, but helped improve the working conditions and income throughout the agricultural field. Now, these chemicals have also had an effect on sales. Aside from being slightly lower in cost than organic foods, on the outside they have been modified to be more aesthetically pleasing, have an enhancement in flavor, and tend to last longer than organic foods, leaving more time for them to be consumed, which would lead to less waste. Now, living in America, we are a country that likes food. I don't know anyone who enjoys spending more money to eat bland food. But is that reason enough for us to compromise our health and safety? These super crops take the DNA of one crop to put into another to make them easier to produce and maintain. Once you introduce these crops into our environment, it is difficult to get rid of them. They will continue to crossbreed to the point where we won't know what has been modified and what is still strictly organic. Which is why this is such a pressing issue. Once we have committed to this, we cannot go back. So when reading studies that have shown non-GMO diets to have proven to help people with allergies, autoimmunity, high cholesterol, gastroesophageal reflux, and diabetes, which have also been shown to be side effects of GMO foods in the first place, it is hard to understand why we don't require testing on these foods. This is why, so far, 6 European countries have taken this into consideration and banned the distribution and production of GMO products. These countries and many educated people have also analyzed these studies and concluded that even though these foods have been considered generally recognized as safe by the FDA, they realize that the lack of further testing and bad science have been their basis of information. Processed foods such as Nature Valley bars or Fiber One have been marketed as the healthy option, but contain soy, cottonseed oil, canola oil, or corn, which are all GMO products, which are contained in 80% of our country's food. Since the FDA does not require labeling, it is nearly impossible for people who have not been educated or exposed to this information to know exactly what they are ingesting and the side effects that could occur later on in their lifetime. So is it ethical for the FDA to use fixed scientific studies to cover up their negligence? They know that these genetically modified foods have side effects that do not occur instantly, such as food poisoning, but take years to set in. Yet all the research is done in short-term studies. Though it may be cheap to produce these foods, the cost to recover from these future diseases is more than double a lifetime of purchasing organically grown foods.